Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. Bitcoin is sitting at 29.3k just after the option have expired. So with all that volatility that ended up pushing the price to almost 30k, the next thing to do is to start paying attention where is the price going to be heading down next. And as usual, most of the information that you're going to find in this channel is not going to be available in other channels. We're going to cover liquidity, indicators, breakouts, patterns from Wyckoff. We're going to cover indexes, big news, on-chain data. Definitely after watching the video, you're going to feel much more confident of what could be your next steps, not just in your manual trading, but also with your bot trading. If this sounds appealing to you, make sure that you hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and the best thing that you can do, guess what it is? Write a comment below. First of all, we're going to look at the altcoin season index. We can see that we have climbed from the very bottom of 7 to 10, which means that some value went into some altcoins. And we can see here the winners for the past 90 days that are still tolerating that Bitcoin, the king, is still going higher and higher. GRT, IMX, Render, XRD, and STX. The past week, we can see in the crypto bubbles that we have the same winners appearing here. Render taking the lead for the full week, but at the same time, we still have some big red bubbles and some smaller size red bubbles as well. Lunar Crush is showing us in alt rank number 1 Render, followed by Cake, Internet Computer, Solana, Bella Protocol, Kronos is here back in the top 6, interesting, with XRP. And before we look at any of the charts, on-chain data and all of that, we must look at where is the liquidity, how is distributed across the whole range of the price for Bitcoin, because that is one of the biggest things that determines where the price is more attracted to. In the 1 month, we can see that the biggest accumulation is at 31.3. So from the perspective of accumulation of the last month, the most attractive level at this moment is 31k. And the reason is because below the price, although there is liquidity from the past month, it only starts from 27 and below. In practice, for the market maker, it's less of an effort to push the price to 31. If we look at the picture of the 3 months accumulation of liquidity, we see kind of the opposite. Most of the liquidity is still sitting below the price, and we can tell why is that, because the price has been punishing all the shorts to the upside. 25.4 keeps accumulating more and more liquidity. And same goes to 22.6 that we've been mentioning for weeks. Now, if we look at the fair value gaps, we can see that to the upside, we only have a fair value gap located at 32.7. There's no more left to the upside. To the downside, starting from 26.5. In regards to CME gaps, we have a new one located at 28.7k. And a few days ago, we created one at 28k and we filled it almost in the same day. A friendly reminder that we still have a CME gap unfilled at 21k, and to the upside we have one at 34.5. Material indicators is showing us where is the selling pressure currently on Bitcoin located. And we can see that spans all the way from 30 every $500 to 31k. I really need to see all the significant levels. We have one level at 29.2, which is currently the level that is holding the price. And we have this downwards sloping resistance that is contracting the price. I will expect to see something like a breakout there or a dump to the downside like that. The next levels I have in this chart, one is at 26.6, is because it was resistance and it became support almost 4 times in the past. We have at 25, at 23, at 22.2, and the beginning of the bear market rally 16.5. On the 3rd of May, we have upcoming the biggest event, 25 basis points of the interest rates with a probability of 85% almost, over 15% of no change. you can at least assume that the markets have already priced in this scenario. So any change to this, it will have to completely reaccommodate. Another reminder that we are about to have the MACD monthly bullish cross. And in terms of expectations, remember that it's not all to the upside. The past time we had one in the bear market, we have a drawdown of 61%. In the past months, I have been using the RSI breakout strategy in the 4-hour consistently to find out when the price is going up and when is it going down. I'm going to give you an update of where is this RSI right now. It's in a very interesting point and we definitely shouldn't ignore it. But first, let's have a look at what Total 3 is doing. We can see that with this massive move of Bitcoin to the upside, Total 3 made something very similar. It came back down and now it's going sideways. But from the point of view of super trend in the 4-hour, this is still in a sell. I recently released this indicator called TTP IFT RSI plus kernel. You can see how applying this AI to IFT RSI can really help to get early entries and exits from the market. Let's have a look at the 4-hour. With this pump and dump that we just had on Bitcoin right here, the RSI went all the way to 77, which is precisely this top right there, just to get dumped once more. Currently, this structure is kind of losing momentum. We want to see the RSI being able to hold this channel to the upside. Anything below this area, you should immediately start suspecting that something might reverse heavy to the downside. On the daily, we are seeing the opposite. The daily is catching up with what the 1-hour did first, followed by the 4-hour, and now it's the turn to the 1 day. The 1 day has broken out this trend line. It did it from the level 50. So I'm still not convinced about this. Of course, sometimes you can get a reset from the middle and another move to the upside. But the ones that end up giving the best reward for the risk are usually located in the lower end of the RSI. For example, this reset made a move of 45% straight to the upside in a very few days. And this reset from halfway only did a 16. If we don't get more liquidity in the macroeconomy, it's going to end up constricting the move to the upside of these risk-on assets. There's been 2 weeks consecutive that the Fed has been selling. Yes, Bitcoin is kind of going sideways, is within this range, but the times where you see these massive green candles is usually the same week that the Fed is buying. You can see Fed buying, Bitcoin pumping, Fed buying 2 weeks in a row, Bitcoin pumping all the way from 45% in one go. When it goes sideways, Bitcoin goes sideways. And now Fed is selling. It's just a red alert. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin won't make any move to the upside. Looking at the Lux Algo chart, we said a few days ago that the premium oscillator was resetting right there. Last Sunday in the Signal School, I taught you how to code in PineScript a signal that reads from Lux Algo Oscillator's premium and it sends you an alert whenever there is a reset. The reset was precisely in this area. There was some drawdown here with this week, but then you have a reward of almost 11% to the upside. I'm definitely now subscribed to these signals and I will keep you updated every time there is a signal. Double check that you're subscribed to the Trading Parrot on Twitter. That is my go-to social network. Whenever there's something urgent I need to say, I will say it right there. The handle is Trading Parrot. Looking at this chart, what it's telling me is we're currently building a bearish structure that is still showing that this level is the biggest boss in this whole cycle, period. Crossing this boss is the most difficult thing for Bitcoin to do. I didn't expect this to get crossed in one try, and in fact, it's been 3 weeks and we are getting far away from it. There's a lot of shorts in that area. The same, there were so many longs in this area, and then finally they got wrecked. So this line there is giving me some hope that the reversal can still happen. The same way we broke 28 at some point and we enter bear market, we should be able to break this to the upside and get us above 33K and then hold it as a support. Now the question is, when is that going to happen? And what's going to happen in between now until the time we break it? Are we going to go lower? Are we going to retest the 25? Are we going to print a lower low and then take another year to get us back above the 33K? It's impossible to tell, but stay watching the rest of the video and let's see what else can we find. DXY currently gaining a little bit of bullishness at the bottom of this structure. And if it decided to go higher and finally complete the double bottom, people will still argue that this is a perfect double bottom. You can see here that the previous leg is 3 weeks. Right now we are in the 3rd week, so maybe one more week we have still to monitor this double bottom. Do not forget that the DXY is still pointing down in the MACD. The weekly RSI on the DXY is still in this channel below the trend line. All eyes on this RSI breaking above this trend line on the weekly DXY. We got right the opposite with the S&P. The double bottom was kind of forming here, but it left a hanging man candle, which is threatening all the bears to potentially break out to the upside and invalidate the double top. S&P, exactly the same picture, pointing upwards and with a lighter histogram. The RSI weekly of the S&P still looks healthy to me. Nothing has been broken to the downside. The Gaussian channel on Bitcoin has been historically the indicator that marks the whole bull market. And most people are keeping an eye right now on when do we flip green. So the question is, in how many days are we going to flip green if we do it? And I've been checking different time frames. I'm doing the same cheating that other people are doing. And now I'm doing 6 days. In 6 days, we are still red. If we do with the time frame 5 days, we are still away from that. And guess what? The 4-day flip green. We still need to see the 5-day flipping as well, the 6-day flipping as well, and then we're going to get to the 1 week. I'll keep you updated as we are progressing with the flipping. If you have been missing in my website, we have published so much information and there's so much value. You can have a look at the series of backtest party every Thursday. We have a new buying strategy that uses TA to fill each of the safety orders. Definitely a night and day versus doing percent-based safety orders. For all members, have a look at the page Top April 2023 Bots. I have a selection of my favorite experiments. And as you can see, almost every day we have massive value for our community. If you want to join, just hit the join button. And I got a surprise for you. If you hit on this video, there are instructions in this particular video on how to get a full free month of Observer. That's going to give you access to Absolute No, along with tons of different indicators, signals, bot assistant, and of course, access to all the content. If you're considering to trade with a new exchange, consider OKX. There are so many good advantages about using OKX. It's really advanced. The UI is beautiful. It works like a charm. And it's got a massive big benefit, which is if you use this link in the description, the join TTP, and you follow the instructions that are right there in that link, you can become a TTP member 100% for free. Just have a look at the instructions in the description. Now, today we're going to look into a new indicator from on-chain data. We are going to look at the percentage of the supply that is in loss. If we zoom out this indicator, you're going to notice two things. When we are in a bear market, the percentage of supply that is in a loss keeps growing. And when you're in a bull market, it keeps coming down. So if we zoom in, what are we currently doing? We have managed to print a top in terms of the supply in loss. And right now it keeps coming down with lower lows and lower highs. The tops of the supply in loss coincide with the bottom of the market. Right now we had a bottom there, a bottom here, and a bottom there. The other thing that I'm noticing is that each of these tops are getting lower and lower. I'm not sure how I can draw a line right here, but just mentally I can almost see it touching all these tops at 60%, 59, 57, and 54, almost 55. Now there's another thing that you need to keep an eye on. Once you find this top and you start coming down, there can still be some market structure building areas of the bear market prior to the halving event. You can see that the supply and loss came down here, but then it started coming back up again. And in COVID, it made a peak of almost as high as the bottom of the market. Since there is so much likelihood of a recession and big worries about the macroeconomy, I wouldn't be surprised that the percentage in profit finds eventually a bottom around here and it does something similar to this before heading for a bull market. But if it wasn't for that, this structure here looks pretty much as what we should expect as the bottom of the market. RSI weekly on Bitcoin managed to hold above the moving average and also above this resistance that now it turned into support. Anyone looking at this chart will say that we are due for another push to the upside. What do I want to see? I want to see next week that we do not do another double top there. I want to see a higher high. I want to see a move to 73. So I'm going to put these levels to 70 and 73 and see how high is that going to potentially take us. So if we manage on the weekly RSI on Bitcoin to get to 70 to 73, we will be in the range of 33.5K to 35.8. So that's a big move. Being on the weekly RSI above 70 is definitely going to put us in something that very little people are going to be able to argue that is an actual bull market for Bitcoin. But we should not get rejected again by RSI weekly 70. Getting rejected from that usually takes you to a big reset in the price as well. The big massive news of the week is that the Bitcoin dominance has broken out outside this channel. If we are using the weekly chart and we use the bodies of the candles, we have fully broken out. We are sitting at 48.65%. We need to see how we close the week candle. If we wanted to use the wicks of each of the candles, then we wouldn't have broken out. Of course, some people are doing it like this and are saying that we haven't done it yet or we're getting very close. Consider this an early breakout. If we apply RSI to the Bitcoin dominance, we can see that this is a healthy move. It could be the breakout that we've been waiting for longer than 2 years. Cerberus is still showing the sell. We need to look on Sunday whether the sell stays there. Any reset below the green line right after that will be a great entry for alts and for pretty much anything. And just to close down today, we have here Maxi showing us a different chart. This is pretty interesting because it's got the support sloping downwards instead of just a horizontal line. And we can see that this move to the downside acted as the retest that we needed. Of course, if you put horizontal the line, it looks like a rejection because the line encounters that area exactly as a resistance. Guys, I hope you have a great weekend and you appreciate all this information I'm putting down for you. And if you do, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We have 50% of the people watching the videos not subscribed. Make sure you are subscribed. That is one way to help the channel, but actually the best way to help this channel is to hit the like and leave a lovely comment down below. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.